So 2.3, subtract real numbers. So there's kind of just a general subtraction rule that they give in the book. And it just says that to subtract B from A, we add the opposite of B to A. So what that's saying is that if you have A minus B, that's equal to A plus negative B. So this is how it was on the right side, is how it was written in the last section. This section, it's going to be written this way on the left, okay? So you can think about it either way, but I think we were kind of thinking about the right way as just A minus B when we were doing it anyways. So I would say you don't need to worry about like manipulating it and changing it and whatever, because, yeah. And then kind of just a reminder, I know we kind of just talked about it when we finished the last section, but if you have two negatives side by side, that becomes a positive, meaning we would add. So if we have minus a negative number, something like 3 minus negative 2, we add these together. So that would be equal to 3 plus 2, which would then be 5. So we can look at some examples of this. Starting with number 4, we have 16 minus 32. So in terms of getting our sign, these are still opposite signs, okay? We have the 16 is positive, the 32 we could say is negative, okay? It's being subtracted. So we're going to have, the answer is going to be the sign of the bigger number, okay? So our answer is going to be what, positive or negative in this case?
Negative.
Our answer is going to be negative. So then we do the bigger number minus the smaller number, which, so 32 minus 16 would be what? 16. And we said it was going to be negative, so it's negative 16. Okay, now, if you're good with just saying 16 minus 32, you can also do that, but I think it's a little bit easier to think about it as the bigger number minus the smaller number like we were doing in the last section. 6, negative 15 minus 29. So these numbers have the same sign, okay? They're both negative, if you will, okay? I realize the one is just a subtraction, but we're going to say that they're both negative, so what does that mean is going to happen to my answer?
It's going to become positive.
I'm subtracting, so I have negative 15 minus 29. So the only way it's going to become positive is if they're side by side like this, like the negative and a negative.
Okay.
So this one, the answer is going to stay negative because they're both negative. They have the same sign, so we keep the sign. So it's going to be negative, and then we just add the two numbers together. So what is 29 times 15? 29 plus 15. If you need to...
34. Wait. No.
If you need to do it like that, you can too. Sometimes I think it's easier to see it that way.
44.
44, yep. Because that is going to give you a 4. Yep. 8. 14.7 minus a negative 2.3. So this one, we have this double negative situation here. So the two negatives that are touching become what?
Plus positive.
Yep. so it's going to become positive, so it's 14.7 plus 2.3. So we can stack those, 14.7 plus 2.3. So that's going to be 10. So then that's 4, 6, 7. Now, because it's a 0.0, if you want to write it, you can, but you also don't have to. So you can either write it as 17 or 17.0. Either of those would be fine for that one. All right, number 10. Negative 18.2 minus negative 15.4. So what do we have going on here?
2 negatives.
So what's going to happen with that?
Negative, positive.
Yep, so this is going to become positive. So this one keeps its sign out here. So negative 18.2 plus 15.4. So what do I have to do with this?
Add the 18 plus 15 and keep the sign of the 18.
So we are going to keep the sign of the 18. We're going to subtract the two numbers, not add. So we'll have, so our answer is going to be negative because the 18.2 is bigger, okay? So then we do 18.2 minus 15.4. So we've got to take one away here. So 12 minus 4 is 8. 7 minus 5 is 2. Don't forget about the decimal. So it would be negative 2.8 for that one. Trying to see if there's a few more. All right, there's 2 more examples from the guided practice that we'll do, just to have 2 more because there's not a whole lot in here. So negative 2 minus 7. What would this one be? Do what? The same sign? Yep, so because they both have the same sign, we're going to keep the sign. So it's going to be negative. And if they have the same sign, what do we do to the numbers? So if they have the same sign, what do we do with the numbers? What did we do in the last section when they were both positive? We add them. So we're going to still add them, but in this case the sign is just going to be negative because we always keep the sign if they're the same. So 7 plus 2 is 9. So it'll be negative 9. And then let's see, one more. 11.7 minus negative 5. So what do we have here? Yep, so we're going to add them. So this is going to be 11.7 plus 5. So 11.7 plus 5. So we can just bring down the 7, bring down the decimal. 1 and 5 is 6. 1 in, there's nothing. So 16.7. Any questions about these ones?
Do you ever want us to round to the...
Not for these ones. We'll just leave them. They shouldn't be more than 1 or 2 decimal places, so we'll just go ahead and leave those. There may be stuff we do later, like in the year that we round for, but for these, we'll just leave them. Any other questions about these ones? Feel okay about them? Then for right now, which for this section, for the stuff that'll be on the quiz, you would need 3 through 9 odd. So that's only a couple problems there.